Thank you, Shazib. So I guess with this, we'll move on to our closing of the event. We had such a lovely and interactive day today. There were certain topics which were kind of discussed, and I saw in the questions also. So just I would like to add on to it because those were left somehow. There was a part from about the security, so that there was a clash between the data availability has to be over there, and at the same time the security. So there are ways, as Shazeb was also explaining. First of all, it has to be based on the risk assessment, or the threat profile should be created based on classification of data. Classification without classification of data, it cannot be attained. Then, from the cloud perspective, the fear of implementation is always been there, and that's the reason the regulatory or the compliance authorities are shaping up Cloud Security Alliance, or Cloud CCC. I forgot the Cloud Consortium is also there. Then we have ISACA. Then we have GDRP. So the compliance regulations are there. Then need to know is should be the factor. So role-based access control is the one which is going to and I can tell you that right now in oil and gas, the for any project or for any such implementation, the cloud first is the strategy that all the initiatives needs to be taken into from the cloud first perspective, and that's where. So security has to be implemented. It's very important, and it's important in the post pandemic or in the pandemic also, where now the IoT and IT is merging and integration, and now we are working from home. So the pandemic has also the threat landscape has even widened, and so now oil and gas companies remain vulnerable to threats of cyber attack or data breach, and must be very vigilant on that. Other aspects which was asked in the question was there was one comment that it was like that it's too generic, and what are the use cases or scenarios, practical implementation of data analytics. And so let me share quickly with some in the exploration or production. Machine learning to optimize operating parameters, maximum output, and perform predictive maintenance, predictive and preventive and prescriptive maintenance. It all require data analytics and real-time sharing of data. AI solutions that would be applied to subsurface data analysis for oil and gas exploration and production. That's another in the exploration. In the transmission distribution, AI and geospatial analytics to optimize leak detection activities to reduce the time and cost of detecting leaks. Machine learning to increase the accuracy of load reduction forecasts for demand responses. Then if we move into the from the boosting operational efficiencies, we can think of exploration and production companies are using 4D modeling combined with integration production data to more precisely locate and map changes in reserve levels. Combined with the predictive analytics, companies are even able to forecast the lifespan of the wells. Um, In the midstream, smart sensors and thermal detectors are providing companies with real-time location data and allowing the automated temperature control of pipelines or other transport infrastructure to be monitored. So more in the operational efficiencies, I can say sensors are allowing companies to perform predictive maintenance and minimize risk of leaks or derailment, which are generally more costly than preventive work. Then if we go by the sectors, upstreams sector, remote monitoring technologies for oil field equipment, it's mainly used. Data-driven perspectives are used in drilling a lot. Then midstream oil and gas sector, we look at from the perspective of the same way domain remote monitoring of pipelines and transportation is a very effective use of data, real-time data sharing and data analytics. Downstream oil gas demand forecasting, which can be shared upstream also to regulate the production. That is also another thing. Then there was some discussions a lot on the perspective of strategic approaches which needs to be taken from the perspective. So I would say that from a data perspective or a digital transformation, I would sum it up into like a very quick way. Oil and gas organizations should create process maps. They should perform a readiness assessment or by evaluating maturity and accuracy of processes to adapt, innovate, and transform. Identify processes with associated characteristics. So if characteristics are volume involved, complexity and risk and criticality. So these are all like kind of creating a process profile as a candidate, which needs to be as a candidate for digital optimization. Then develop an automation profile for each process, perform multiple reviews and at the end, create digital transformation use cases. Creating a programmatic approach to evaluate and choose intelligently use cases for digital transformation. And prioritization and impact analysis. Now, the realization of benefits can only be measured if we have defined the key process indicators and if we have defined the critical success factors and matrices to evaluate the implementation, digital transformation implementations, conduct impact analysis, and prioritize use cases. We saw different vendors over here, and oil and gas sector, I would say that they should take an external advisory firms and learn from your peers also. Do a SWOT analysis or a peer analysis across the industry with the organizations who have leveraged from their journeys of data analytics or master data management or digital transformation, AI. And we kind of looked into from the bots and perspective. So robotic process automation is basically an initial first step or a door to artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then there is in the digital transformation journey, it's not only data automation or data analytics or data transformation, it's the process automation also. So these both goes hand in hand with each other. Any question which we have, Babita, which we need to take, or should we
I think,
close?
Mr. Sayed, you have covered almost all the points and answered the maximum questions that came on the chat box. So we had few questions on digital transformation. The way you explained, I think you explained it in a very well mannered way. So we are almost done with it. And just to tell everyone that we'll be having Mr. Sayed once again for our upcoming exclusive session, Digi Conference, which is predictive maintenance in oil and gas. It's again a Digi Conference that we are doing for the maintenance department and the heads across it. So we're going to talk about how do we unlock the potential of maintenance 4.0 through innovations and technologies. And this is happening on the 16th of June, 2021. We would appreciate each one of you to participate for this session and register with our audience development team. We will be having Mr. Sayed speaking at this session as well. So we wanted each one of you to know about this.
Thank you, everyone, and it was lovely having all of you. Once again, thanks for all the speakers, panelist members, and keynote presenters, and to you, Babita, and the great minds, all the team in the back scene who has been working and managing and making all this event happen.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Sayed. Thank you, all the speakers. Thank you, all our partners, for being getting associated with us for this conference. We are obliged, more than obliged, to have all of you, and we look forward to have another session, the third edition of Advanced Data Management and Analytics, with some amazing program development on the same in the coming months. Also, just to add to it, we shall be sharing the presentation and the recording of this particular session with all of you, and would connect with the speakers if required from your end. We will be taking at least 3 to 4 working days to validate the entire session and share it across with you with the presentation. For any further details or partnerships, or just to know more about GM Events or DigiConnect, please visit our website, www.gmevents.ae or www.digiconnect.gmevents.ae. We are there for you. Let us know in case if you need any support from our end in regards to the session. Thank you, Mr. Sayed. It was really great having you, and you hosted the entire program. It just went with super flow. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.